The studio lights buzzed faintly as tensions hung heavy in the air. U2, four men bound by years of triumphs and trials, found themselves at a crossroads, grappling with a question that could unravel everything. How do you stay relevant when the world you've defined no longer exists? The 80s had crowned them rock royalty, but the new decade loomed with its own demands. Reinvention wasn't a choice, it was survival. The 1980s had been kind to U2, but kindness can breed stagnation. By the dawn of the 90s, the world was changing fast. The Berlin Wall had fallen, grunge was on the rise, and old certainties seemed to crumble like paper in the rain. U2 knew they couldn't cling to their earnest, stadium-sized anthems forever. It was time for something riskier, sharper, something raw. So they packed their bags and headed to Berlin, lured by the ghostly echoes of Bowie and Iggy Pop. But the city, newly liberated, wasn't exactly their muse at first. Instead, creative disagreements erupted, egos clashed, and at one point, the band nearly called it quits. But from the chaos came a spark, a riff, a melody, something strange and seductive. It was One, a song that managed to bridge the gap between who they had been and who they were becoming. Suddenly, the pieces began to fall into place. With producer Brian Eno and engineer Flood guiding their sonic experiments, U2 plunged headfirst into the murky depths of industrial beats, electronic textures, and an unapologetically darker tone. The result was Achtung Baby, an album that married the messy, seductive chaos of a post-Cold War world with a brand new sound. Released on November 18, 1991, Achtung Baby wasn't just a pivot, it was a roar of defiance. From the growling guitar of The Fly to the sultry grooves of Mysterious Ways, the album wasn't afraid to take risks. It mocked its own self-seriousness with a wink and an ironic smirk, shedding the band's messianic image for something far more human and flawed. Critics, who had begun to doubt U2's relevance, were stunned. Fans, too, found themselves pulled into this darkly glittering orbit. In the years since its release, Achtung Baby has been hailed as one of the greatest albums of all time, a testament to U2's refusal to stand still. But its legacy isn't just in the music. It's in the lesson that reinvention often requires walking through fire. And for U2, that fire began in a Berlin studio, amid broken walls, clashing egos, and the unshakable belief that the best was yet to come.